Hello, my name is Christopher Alepa. I'm a sophomore at Rampo College in New Jersey, where I'm majoring in history. The video you're watching is part of a virtual film festival produced in the final project of Dr. Jacob Lebenz's course, Holocaust and Media. I would like to personally thank the Gross Center for Holocaust and Genocide Studies for sponsoring this program, as it lets us look through the Holocaust in an interesting, unique lens by using media to better understand how people felt about it. The film I'm presenting today is Remember, a 2015 film directed by Adam Agoyan, co-produced in Canada and Germany, distributed by Entertainment One. Remember stars Christopher Plummer, Kim Roberts, Amanda Smith, and Dean Norris of Breaking Bad fame, to name a few of the stars. To get a feel for the movie, you can watch the trailer that'll be linked with this video, or you can watch the film on Hulu or HBO Max, to name a few of the different services that carry it. I'm personally excited for you to watch Remember, as it is one of the most unique movies of the decade. The film explores the modern dilemma of the elderly Holocaust survivor that we seem to be losing more and more of as the days go on. It takes a unique and modern perspective on Holocaust films, which I think separates it from many other ones. The film shows the point of view of one of the last survivors as they try and make sense of what happened to them before they leave this earth, specifically an old man trying to get revenge on one of the camp officials, even while dealing with dementia and old age as he tracks down the killer of his people. The film is also unique for using a senior actor as a lead, which is one of the driving forces behind this movie being created in the first place, making it a different viewing than your average film. The idea of making a Holocaust film using a senior actor came second, but it created one of the very interesting points of this whole film. Using themes of revenge and questioning the flimsiness of reality and how our subconscious understands life makes this film special and a statement on the modern Holocaust survivor. Now mostly old and dying off, it takes a very different point of view than your regular Holocaust film. It doesn't show the current persecution of someone who's suffering from a Nazi official looking over his back, but instead the memories and trauma from those injustices decades prior that live with these people until the day they die, and how it affects them. The film personally shocked and captivated me, leaving me to really appreciate it, especially upon a second viewing. Now that I could understand the full intention of the filmmakers and what they wanted to do with this film, it gave me a new understanding of the film once I completed it the first time. The film explores Zev Gutman, an 89-year-old Holocaust survivor in New York whose wife has just passed on. His fellow nursing home patient, Max Rosenbaum, who was also a camp survivor, reminds him of his promise to kill Blockführer Otto Wallisch. They are both imprisoned in the same camp, and they had a promise to go and kill him. But Rosenbaum is condemned to a wheelchair, leaving Zev as the only one who can possibly track him down, remember who he is, and kill him. In order to fulfill his promise, the dementia-ridden Zev must track down 4 different men who could possibly be Wallisch, all while dealing with his own disabilities, neo-Nazis, and his own family trying to track him down, all for his quest for revenge. A quest that Zev can't quite remember where it really started. I feel like the depiction of a Holocaust survivor in a more modern sense, as an older, aged person, still stricken with what happened to them years before, but for many of them unable to do anything. I find the film's use of an older Holocaust survivor as extremely poignant and something that the audience can relate to. In our modern era, as I've mentioned many times, Holocaust survivors are older and trying to pass on stories before they pass away. And as a society, we're worried about losing these people. But how do these people themselves feel about what happened and how things turned out years down the line? And this film shows the example of someone who is forgetting everything but is constantly still reminded of what happened and the revenge he has to take. I think it paints a very interesting and astute observation on how it's hard to forget this stuff, even with dementia. There's going to be reminders and things that the elderly Holocaust survivors are still going to be reminded of about the Holocaust. And it's something that they can't let go until the day they die. I think that's an important theme of the whole movie. This is especially true in the character of Max Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum is just as angry as Gutman is, but instead of being able to go and complete this quest himself, he is stuck to a wheelchair and cannot do what he has always wanted to do, track down Otto Wallisch. So he has to remind Zev, a dementia-ridden 89-year-old man, what their plan was to kill Wallace in the first place. As you begin to watch this film, I heavily recommend you consider how Zev owns his story of being a Holocaust survivor, and how it shapes his character and motives, and what the director and writers may have intended by these scenes showing who he is and the people he knows, his wife and fellow Holocaust survivors, and how they shape him as a person and his quest for revenge. I will also say the ending does have a certain twist to it. I, for one, found it really captivating, but I also pose a question to you. Do you feel like the twist at the end, which you'll know what I'm talking about when you get there, do you feel like it cheapens the message, or do you think it strengthens a broader message about what reality is and how our brain is fragile enough to construct a reality that we think is real, even when it's just only what we think inside our own heads? And I think the film goes beyond being a Holocaust film and instead raises questions about the human mind and the human experience, and how life and what we think is concrete can be withered away by age and made into something that we're unsure of, or as we become prisoners in our own body. Can our understanding of who we are and what happened to us change and be contorted and malleable the older we get? Do you also think that the quest for revenge as an old person after years of life on someone who's also nearing the end of their own life, do you think it's justified? Because there are news headlines today that'll say 97-year-old German man deported to Germany to be charged with war crimes. And some may say, oh, this is justified. And others may say, he's so old, just let him die out. And this movie tackles that in a certain sense, that it's an old man's revenge on another old man. When others may say, hey, just let the clock run out. So it kind of brings up that question too of, does it make sense to let the clock run out, or should we still take revenge? Many of us have attended presentations or speeches by Holocaust survivors, and while their numbers dwindle, I think most of us can remember a time where we learned and experienced the life of one through their words. So to see a film dedicated to these people and taking their unique perspective gives them a sense of respect in a way, at least on paper. And you can see how their struggles are still the same struggles even as the years have gone on. I hope you have a great day and really enjoy watching this film. If you give it the time of day, you will find it to be one of the best modern Holocaust films to date, creating a unique viewing experience and one that you will not forget anytime soon.